Alright, we are back for an Oath of the Gatewatch 8-4. It's not the greatest pack in the world. Oath of Nissa seems okay, but green's not like it's not insane or anything. Prophet of Distortion or Havoc Sower, I think, are the picks here. Possibly or a Reckless Bushwhacker. Probably not. I'm going to go with Prophet of Distortion. I really like red-blue Devoid. Let's see if we can get a sweet red-blue Devoid deck. So for red-blue, right? No, we'll take Cultivator Drone. I think it's better than Warden of Geometries, like, pretty easily. Captain's Clause is pretty fine, but it's not like it's insane. Seed Guardian, probably the best card here. Big reach creature that makes potentially another big creature. But Blinding Drone's very good in a blue-based Devoid deck, which we certainly appear to have. So far we're pretty effectively cutting blue as well. So hopefully pack 2 we get paid. Real paid. So it's Kozilek's Shrieker or Sweep Away. Or Unknown Shores. You know, Shrieker's fine, but it's pretty much, it's just fine. I think I'm going to take Unknown Shores. It's good to get, like, the better colorless lands, and I think that Unknown Shores is one of the better colorless lands. This and the Holdout. Anything that really can double as colorless plus mana fixing. Way better than a Wastes, for instance. Okay, so I had been trying to avoid making the pick, but I'm going to take Flaying Tendrils. I'm not seeing any red. I see no evidence at all that red is open. And Flaying Tendrils is better than Slaughter Drone and Sweep Away, I think. Also, the Prophet of Distortion is the only card that right now I have that it doesn't work for. So, just have to kind of keep it in mind. Alright. So, this is interesting. Really no blue or black cards, so my options are either Wastes or Stalking Drone. I think I'm going to take Stalking Drone. Wastes is actually one of the worst colorless sources, in my opinion. I've never been able to build a blue-green Devoid deck, but it seems possible. Like, this card's very good. So we'll take it and keep it all in mind and see what happens. So it's either Unnatural Endurance or Pulse of Marasa. I don't think Ancient Crab's a real option. Undo War Cleric is here very late. I'll take the Unnatural Endurance. I'm more familiar with with the blue-black deck than the blue-green deck. So I'll, in a situation where no card is insane, I'll take the color that I'm most familiar with. And Unnatural Endurance is pretty good. I think Pulse Marasa is also pretty good. It might actually be a little bit underrated in general, in my opinion. Okay, so, well, we'll take the Oath of Nissa. I mean, if we do wind up in green, it's not bad. Gets you a creature or a land. So a second Unnatural Endurance or a first Warden of Geometries. I think that nod goes to the Warden. Holdout Settlement is going to be the pick here. Like I said, it's one of the better fixers. Of course, Scythe Master is pretty powerful. Loam Larva, just in case. And, you know, we do only have 2 black cards, so it's not like it's a hugely corner case or anything either. I'll take the Wastes. Getting it this late is somewhat interesting. The No Man has no face. That's kind of appropriate. So not an exciting first pack by any means. So I think I'm just going to grab another Blinding Drone here. Null Caller is very strong, but I think the drone is pretty comparable. Given that I already have the deck for it. If I didn't have a bunch of colorless mana already, you know, I would definitely be less sure about the pick. So I'm going to wheel something out of this pack. I like Spatial Contortion with what I have right now. I can pretty reliably cast it. The alternative is to take Kozilek's Translator and then count on getting one of those back. I think I'm going to, actually. Translator is very strong. Here I'm going to take Gravity Negator. Gift of Tusks and Tar Snare are both pretty good. But the Negator is what I'm trying to do. Yeah, Pathfinder. It's a good top end for a deck that can produce colorless mana with ease. And that is one thing my deck will excel at. So in the third pack, I'm looking to get a bunch of big Eldrazi. If I can get like 1 or 2 Hedron Crawlers, I'll probably still snatch them up here in this pack. But I do have a lot of sources already. Yeah, I'll just take Reaver Drone. It allows for some explosive starts, and it blocks just fine. There's a lot of 2 toughness cards in the aggressive decks. It's definitely more at home in the black-red devoid aggro strategy, but I don't know how good that deck is. It's just because, honestly, the white-black deck is so good, and it's just so good specifically against super aggressive strategies that it might be worse than it should be, if that makes sense. So it's either Witness the End or the Cloak. I think I'll take the Cloak. It can be hard to push through damage sometimes with this deck. Alright, so now I have to decide between Kozilek Shrieker or Slaughter Drone. The Shrieker is better in an aggressive strategy. The Drone is better in a defensive strategy. I've got a Prophet of Distortion and a couple tappers, so I'd say I'm a much more defensive deck, despite the fact that I just took a piece of equipment that only really helps attackers. But putting that thing on a Warden of Geometries, whew, spicy. So far so good. I think I'll just put these lands over there for now. Alright. Corrupted Crossroads is actually interesting. Shrieker is a reliable pick, though. I'm going to take the Crossroads. That might be incorrect. Might have been a bad pick. I'll take Witness the End. It's playable. I don't know if the second one's playable, though, so I'm going to hate out Zendikar Resurgent. I've gained a lot of respect for that card. It's a pretty good top end for the green decks. Gift of Tusks is pretty good. Usually you can 1-for-1 the opponent. No one plays around it. When you're trading 1-for-1, if you're doing it for 1 mana, well, then it's probably better than what your opponent spent. Wow. So Negate's playable, but Press into Service is like downright insane. Ooh, very nice pickup. Yeah, that might make it. It's not likely, but it's not impossible. Yeah, thus far I think I'll just put the Ancient Crab over here. So yeah, my colorless mana situation is super in check. Don't even need it for much except the Blinding Drones. Wow. So Sludge Crawler will hopefully wheel. Easy complete disregard for me, though. Really want to get that Rune Processor. But another easy complete disregard for me. Didn't get any Oblivion Strikes, so have to grab the removal of this pack. Put the gifts aside for now. Unnatural Endurance is just a slightly better Gift of Tusks. So yeah, Sludge Crawlers. Probably the 1/2 flyers with Devoid and Devout or Ingest. Those are the kind of cheap commons we're looking to pick up at this point. Sky Spawner's insane. Yeah, Sky Spawner's insane. Rune Processor would be great for me. Skitter Skin would be okay, but we're not super aggressive. Getting a flyer that gives us yet another colorless source and allows us to go a little bit wider. It's probably for the best. I would definitely play 2 Rune Processors in my deck. Don't have a lot of ways to exile, but got some. So Blighted Cataract would be great if we still needed a colorless source. We're going to take Silent Skimmer. Yeah, I think we'll take Cloud Manta. You know, that's kind of a good filler card for this deck. Some evasion. Flaying Tendrils is more sideboard material at this point. Oh, we did have an Unnatural Endurance. How did it wind up there? That's insane. I'd still play 2. I mean, that's fine. I virtually have to wheel something out of my first pack, so I shouldn't be short playables. Cloudman's the first card on the chopping block. Assuming we just get flush with playables here. That's disappointing. Miner's Malice is technically playable, but we've already got to witness the end. This is unfortunate. So we either counter draft or we take like a fringe playable that we don't even want in the deck. Just take the Giant Mantis. I've got a few flyers. Silent Skimmer here is the pickup. Skyline Cascade's pretty good, but I like Silent Skimmer plenty. So Tightening Coils is removal, sort of. We could get a big guy, or we could take a processor. Our 4-drop slot is already very crowded, so I'm just going to take the big guy and really hope one of the Ruined Processors makes it back to me here. I don't think it's super likely, though. I think, well, it's not impossible. We'll just withhold judgment. Spell Shrivel, I think, over Salvage Drone. Come on, Ruined Processor. So we'll take Cryptic Cruiser. It's probably getting played over Cloud Manta. Shouldn't have counter drafted that Giant Mantis. Cloud Manta didn't even make the deck. So yeah, all of our spells have the Void. This is actually an interesting pick. So Skitter Skin is not going to be bad in my deck. It'll always be able to be regenerated, but I think we're going to take Retreat to Hagra. Just incremental advantage might be enough to win the day here. And we can cut... Yeah, we've only got the one processor, just the Cryptic Cruiser. So we can probably cut the Witness the End. Yeah, I think 17 lands is still correct. Let's do Palace by color. Kinda sucks that we've got to split it unevenly. Well, do we? What if we don't play the wastes? What do we need colorless mana for? These guys, this thing. That thing. Sort of that thing. And we would be playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we're probably fine. Let's do 7/7. Yeah, I need both colors of mana, but I don't need a ton of each. So this should work. We'll see you guys round 1, see how this goes.